But the big question is really in goal. Like you can't run this tandem back. It's just not fair to the skaters in front of them. So it's signing like a Jake Allen or an Alex Lyon, or if they want to go bigger and making a trade for somebody. I know John Gibson was not even linked to the Flyers, but um, Friedman brought him up, but his contract I think is ridiculous. But
it'd be
someone,
dumb.
some sort of veteran goalie like that with like 2 years on their deal left to bring in and split with Harrison. Like what would you like to see happen this offseason?
Some stability in net, I think, would be important. Maybe, who knows? Maybe Sam Ersson has been playing through an injury because he was injured to begin the year. And if that's the case, maybe they're banking on him getting healthy in the offseason and starting out better. Also, his coach said he's not a starting goaltender like less than a month ago. So that can't be too good for your mental as you're playing out the string here. Fedotov, I mean, I don't really care what they do with them. If they want to keep him as the third man so that he can make his money, fine. If they're like, look, we're going to waive you to Lehigh Valley, do you want to just mutually terminate this contract and go back to Russia? That's an option. Kolosov has been, I don't know
what's going on with. Why did they call him up? Why did they call him up?
Torts made him do it. Torts was like, I'm never playing Ivan Fedotov again.
But if you were that close to firing him, where it took him crossing the line one more time, 48 hours later, like why do you give in to him to do that? And then at the very least, give him a start rather than Fedotov. Like Fedotov got the start against Nashville. Nashville was.
Shaw said that Kolosov is going to get at least a game down the stretch. I don't remember how many, but he said Kolosov is going to get a game.
Yeah, they have one back-to-back, I think, so he'll probably get in on that.
Sure, let's see. And I frankly don't mind if they keep him up all of next season either. I suppose he's better served in the AHL, but I don't know if he's going to throw a tantrum about it again. Just I would say cut bait. Like I don't care. He's clearly not an NHL caliber goalie right now. By the time he might be, Zvragin, Bjarnason, they're going to be here. Maybe the Flyers sign a backup who can do it better anyway. It just, I'm over it.
I'm looking at it now, and I don't hate the idea of John Gibson, especially like if you can use Kolosov as a trade piece there. He has 2 years left on this deal after this one, $6.4 million, which doesn't really matter that much given the Flyers cap space and how many entry-level deals that they'll have on their books. This year, 28 starts, 911 save percentage. He clearly wasn't working as a starter the past 2 years, 888, 899. But I feel like he could, be a 900 goalie. That's all we need, and give some sort of stability. He's the 1A. Ersson's the 1B. That's something you can trust in net. I mean, they're both. I mean, Gibson might be injury prone at this point, and Ersson has his groin issues. And then you have Kolosov in the AHL or Fedotov in the AHL with Bjarnason. I'm not fully opposed to Gibson. I feel like somebody whose contract expires in 2027, whether it's a goalie, whether it's a center, I feel like those are the type of players the Flyers should be targeting right now because the cap is going up and they don't really need cap room until 2027.
Gibson won't be cheap. That's the problem. Like he's not a cheap option here.
I'm not for?
Yes, I'm not investing the assets it would take to bring him back.
I feel like Anaheim would be happy to get rid of his salary. They're a very low. They want to just be on the salary floor and that's it.
Teams have talked to them about Gibson, and nobody was meeting the ask.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the case where you have to give up like a first or maybe even a second, like no, it's not worth it. But if it's Kolosov and a third, like
oh god, no. And Zamula, throw Zamula in there.
Zamula's becoming my boy here. Zamula's been fantastic in the second half as a third pair guy. His underlying metrics are the best on the team.
Wow.
Since like I was looking it up before. Past 25 games or whatever, his expected goals for percentage is 60%. So he's really settled into his third pair role. But he could be a trade piece in the offseason too, because teams ask for them. Teams ask for him, at the deadline.
Yeah, and Paling.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think if you can just sign like a journeyman veteran to like a 2-year deal, I think that's the way you go. Like a Scott Wedgwood. I know
Jake Allen.
Sure, whatever. But
Alex Lyon. I'd love to bring Alex Lyon back.
Bring him home. He's injury prone too, though, isn't he?
I mean, I don't know if it's, I don't know. Dan Vladar has been out there. He worked with Dustin Wolf this year.
Vladar. Darth Vladar.
Rittich, big save day. I mean, Anton Forsberg. Yeah, but goaltending is always going to be the big thing in Philadelphia. It just always will. It just will.
We might just have to cope with it for one more year. That's the thing. We might just have to put up with this for another year.
And then what?
Well, then Bjarnason would hopefully be ready to at least be in the NHL, and then Zvragin can come over and.
Zvragin can come over in a year or two, but I think he'll still be, unless he's Vasilevsky, he's going to give it a few more years to develop. And yeah, Bjarnason turning pro next year. I feel like he'll need more than one AHL season, but I mean, if he looks good next year, they can maybe have him be the tandem with Ersson. Ersson is an RFA in 2027. He's 25. Goaltenders do develop later than skaters, so I still feel like he has the ceiling of a 1A as long as he has a decent team in front of him.
And he's healthy.
But he should be a 1B, I feel like.
I think I'm with you there. I'm not giving up on the ceiling of a 1A because we've talked about like Logan Thompson, Joey Daccord, these guys who hit at age 27, 28, they clearly define themselves as a 1A. You can tell by like age 24, 25 that a guy is not going to be a workhorse 65 game starter. But you might not get that 1A certitude until they're like 27, 28. So for now, I'm thinking he's a 1B, and it's mostly just the injuries. If he's going to be injured so much, like if he gives you 30 to 35 games a season, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, 30, 35, give whoever else, the veteran they bring in, like the other 40, 45, and 5 to 10 to whatever third string they have because of injury is fine by me.
Yeah.